As United States President Donald Trump convened the first meeting of his so-called Board of Peace in Washington, Palestinians in Gaza were not debating administrative mandates or transitional governance formulas. They were asking whether the bombing would stop, whether the siege would ease, and whether anyone with actual power intended to change their reality. Into this setting stepped Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, presenting Islamabad's participation as meaningful engagement. It's time to say clearly that this move looks far more like diplomatic theater than strategic influence. The board's mandate is narrow. It focuses on ceasefire implementation, humanitarian access, and reconstruction. It does not address sovereignty. It does not confront occupation. It does not halt settlement expansion. It does not define Gaza's political future. Calling this structure a pathway to Palestinian self-determination stretches credibility. Meanwhile, there's a deeper regional rupture unfolding that Pakistan's leadership refuses to reckon with. Powerful voices in Riyadh are publicly condemning normalization with Israel and its regional enablers. A prominent Saudi academic, Dr. Ahmed bin Uthman al-Tuwaijiri, has delivered an unprecedented, scathing critique of the United Arab Emirates, accusing Abu Dhabi's rulers of throwing themselves into the arms of Zionism and acting as Israel's Trojan horse in the Arab world, betraying Arab and Islamic unity and undermining Saudi interests and regional cohesion. This is not a minor spat between Gulf states. It reflects profound disillusionment with a geopolitical trajectory that embraces Israel while Palestinians bleed. And it exposes how deeply humiliation and anger at Israel's actions have reshaped even traditional alliances. While Islamabad participates in a Gaza-specific framework, the territorial heart of the conflict continues to shift in the West Bank. Israeli administrative moves to designate areas as state property and expand settlements directly affect the viability of any two-state outcome. Yet the Board of Peace has no authority beyond Gaza. Pakistan is therefore engaging in a compartmentalized mechanism that manages humanitarian consequences in one enclave while the strategic map evolves elsewhere. Supporters of the move may argue that engagement is better than absence. But engagement without power must be framed honestly. Presenting membership in a US-backed transitional body as decisive action risks misleading the public and overstating Pakistan's influence. The broader regional context further weakens the case. The idea of a unified Muslim bloc acting in concert on Palestine is more rhetorical than real. The United Arab Emirates and Bahrain normalized relations with Israel under the Abraham Accords. Egypt maintained security coordination with Israel under the Camp David Accords. These states calculate policy through security and economic interests, not abstract solidarity. If frontline Arab governments pursue incremental or pragmatic approaches, Pakistan positioning itself as more uncompromising from afar does not automatically translate into influence. It risks isolation or irrelevance. There's also the uncomfortable reality of the ideological climate in Washington and Tel Aviv. Recently, the US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, publicly stated that according to the Bible, the descendants of Abraham were promised land that today would encompass essentially the entire Middle East and that it would be fine if Israel took it all. When such statements are voiced by senior American officials without serious consequence, they reveal a prevailing mindset that is expansionist and deeply dismissive of Palestinian sovereignty. Against this backdrop, a transitional board with a limited humanitarian mandate looks even less like a vehicle for justice and more like a mechanism for managing fallout. Pakistan must ask itself what it is actually trying to achieve. If the objective is to stand in solidarity with Palestinians, that position has long been clear and requires no ceremonial membership to validate it. If the objective is to influence outcomes, then participation in a body that does not address occupation, annexation, or final status negotiations is structurally insufficient. If the objective is to remain engaged with Washington, that too can be done without inflating expectations about what this board can deliver. Supporting Palestinian rights is a principled position, but principle must be matched with strategic realism. The Board of Peace does not redistribute power. It manages symptoms. It does not challenge the structures that sustain occupation. It operates within them. By joining and framing this as meaningful progress, Pakistan risks participating in an illusion of movement, while the core political realities harden. In a conflict defined by land, sovereignty, and power, administrative committees are not peace, they are paperwork.